Hi guys, and welcome to week one of the South Yorkshire GridZone League. This is the game GridZone. This one's going to take a little bit longer than any of the other ones that are going to come and record, because I will be showing you the game first. So GridZone, buy it by PDF, or you can buy it boxed as usual. I'm in the UK, so I get the PDF and print it. What comes with it? Game book. All the rules. I've printed this as a booklet, but you can print it as A4. I'm okay at reading at that size, so that's fine. You get the game board, and the idea of the game is, unlike American football, is you score by zones. So you drive along, and if you do not make an advance, then your turn is over and you score however many zones you've made. In this case it would be 4. If you get into the end zone, you score 14. It says 9 plus 5, but 10 plus 4, isn't it? Because if you go from here to here, you've got to go 10 sections. It's the same thing. If you go back into this zone here, it's a safety. You don't score anything for safeties, but what happens is that the opponents start at level 2 to go and try and score a touchdown. So it's a 7-a-side, as you can see here. It's a 7-a-side game. Along with this, you also get the off-season chart to allow you to generate and extend players. So at the end of the season, these players can get either better or worse depending on how experienced they are and how many years they've been playing. You get a quick reference chart to tell you how to play the game as you roll along. You get 4 charts. You get the pass chart and the deep pass chart, and the run chart and the X chart, and they're all related to what the play is. You also get score sheet, and the way this game plays, there's no specific time. It's not like 15-minute periods. It's a single period, and you go from the top to here. This is in a special case, and when you fill this line in, you've finished. So you play all the way down, then you come to what's called crunch time, and that affects the choice of play. I'll show you that in a second. And at the end of crunch time, that's the end of the game, unless there's a penalty, in which case you play one more final play. So what also comes with it is a set of 8 teams. So here you can see Portland. These ones here are the ones that I've made up for the South Yorkshire League, and that's the beauty of this game. You can make your own teams up and play your own league, and you can draft, and year on year they can get better or worse, as I've said. So, but you get 8 teams from the American Grid Ball League, as it's called, and on these sheets, what you need to play this are 2 D12s and 3 D6s of different colour. If you see the videos by the game developer, he's got a yellow dice. I don't have one, so I use a green one. And effectively what you do is you roll the 3 green dice, and this number here, let me just move these out of the way. If it is a 6, you use the event chart here. If not, you use the 2 numbers, and you decide which one's home and which one's away, black and white, and you take off the normal line of the attacking team what the play is. So it's an X against an X, in this case 6 against 5. So you would use the X chart. On the X defense, work out, read what it says as to what is happening in the play, and that will tell you how many yards they get and how many zones they get, or if they don't get. So it's all built around stopping your opponents, and once you stop your opponents, their turn is over, and the other team take over, but they score the points of the zones that they've gained. You'll see that as we play the game. The 2 D12 dice, you actually only need 2 in one situation. The other one is used to decide what number you're going to read here off the event chart or off the action chart for the decision of the play. The only time you need the other D12 is if you have a situation let's say Portland here are playing Birmingham. And as you can see from this, Portland have a PF factor of 4, a power factor of 4. Birmingham have a power factor of 3. And what happens there is that the team with the highest power factor have the advantage of the 2 dice. So you roll these, and let's say that one is 4 and one is 3. If this is a 1, the difference, so if it was 4 and 2, 1 or 2 on this dice would cause this to happen. You'd use the 2 dice to decide the attack play, and then you roll both of them, and if the highest power factor is on offense, you would use the highest number, 8, because the higher the number, the more advantage you've got. But if they were on defense, you use the lower number, which is 6, so it gives them a bit of an advantage. So that's the game. I was going to use a scoreboard, but it keeps cutting out, so let's see how this game goes. So home team always starts. So we've got Sheffield Steelmen against the Doncaster Racers in week 1 of the South Yorkshire GridZone League. They're playing out of, both teams are in the Sir Geoffrey Boycott Conference, and at the end of the season, which is a 10-game long season, they play each conference team twice and each out conference team once, and the winners of each conference will go into the A-Up Bowl. You need to be Yorkshire if you need to understand what A-Up means. It means hello. It can also mean oh dear, you know, A-Up, but that's a bit of Yorkshireism for you. So here we go, the 7-a-side, and you'll see how it goes as we play the game. So Sheffield home team on the attack. So it's a 1, so we're going to use the chart here, and it's offense 1, which is a run, against defense 3, which is a pass. So we have a run against a pass. So we roll the dice, and we've got a 7, run past 7. Home team gain 1.1 on a crisp draw play to the star running back. So RP7 plus 1, the star, and the star, and so the star running back gets 1, and I'll just show you this, how we write this down. So run past 7, a gain of 1 to the number 6, who is the star running back, and in the rushing zone of the offense, I've got a, sorry, I'm not far enough, I put a 1, so it keeps all the stats, but I'll show you that at the end when it's completed. So we've gained 1, and that's the end of that play. 1, they're both PF4, so that we don't need any interference from the 2 dice. So it's an offense 4, which is a pass, against a defense 1, which is a run, and it's a 10. Pass against run 10. Is the quarterback pass greater than the defensive lineman? So the quarterback's pass is a 0, so it can't be greater than, so the answer is no. Complete for 3 gain to the star wide receiver, great catch and run on a hasty pass. So we've got a 3-yard gain to the star wide receiver, who is Howell, number 18. And so the star wide receiver gets 3 yards, so we've made 4 so far in this drive. 4, so it's not an event. 2, which is a pass. Sorry, a run against 3, which is a pass, run pass. 2. So run against pass 2 is the run level of the star linebacker, which is a 0, greater than the run level of the star running back, which is a 2, so no. So we roll 1d6, and it's a 5. So 1d6 with a 5 is no gain to the star runner, so that's a 0 to the star runner, who is number 6. And what that means is that we've had a stop by the defensive lineman. Sorry, oh, I've got this wrong. I've read 3 instead of 2. It's RP2. Is the run level of the star linebacker greater than the run level of the star runner? And it is not. So I roll 1d6, which was a 5. Rams ahead, gain of 1 for the star runner. So the drive does stay alive. So it's 1 run, 1 more yard for the star runner. So we're on 5 now. And Sheffield continue the drive. 1 is an event. So we ignore those. So it's event 10. Event 10. Flag on the offense. -1 for a technical. So it's -1 penalty on the offense. And you can roll another dice here to see who it was, number 9, and there's a chart here. It's the dot wide receiver, and the dot wide receiver is our running back, Mr. Blake, number 6, and they lose a yard. And this is the only time when they doesn't stop the play because it's a penalty, so they still continue with the drive. Any other time, if they go backwards, if it's a sack, then that's the end of the drive, but not in the case of a penalty. 5, so it's going to go run versus run, and it's a run versus run 9. Is the run level of the star runner a 2 or a 3? Well, yes it is. It gains 1d6 plus 1. So we roll a d6 and it's 1, so he gets 2. And again, Victor Blake makes another 2 zones, and Sheffield continue to drive. So a 3, so 3 against 1 is a pass against a run, and it's pass against run 4. Is the pass level of the diamond linebacker? He's a pass level of 1. Is it greater than the offensive line star? He's a pass level 1, so no. Complete for 1 game to the dot receiver. So 1 zone gain to the dot receiver, who is our friend Victor Blake. He's having a very busy day. Keeps the drive alive as they go forward. They're in zone 7 now. 4, so that is going to go to the chart. And offense is an X offense against a run defense. X offense against run defense, XR2. So we look at the X against run. Is the X level of the star defensive lineman, which is a 0, greater than the quarterback, which it can't be. So shuttle pass complete, and then we roll 1d6, and it's a 1. It's a 1 yard gain to this. It's a 1, no gain, and it's stopped by the defensive lineman. So it's a no gain. Let's see who the offensive player was that was taking the pass. We're going to have to give it to somebody. So let's give it to the star wide receiver, which is Howell, 18. So Howell doesn't get any yards, and the diamond defensive lineman, who is number 96, Charles Foster, stops the drive. And so at the end of the Sheffield drive, they score 7. So Sheffield lead by 7 points to 0 as Doncaster take over. So Doncaster chasing a 7-point deficit. Offensive 6 is an X. Defensive 5 is a pass. And it's an XP11. Just before we go, you can see here D/P. If it's the defense, it's always a pass defense. If it's the offense, there's an option of a deep pass or a standard pass, and my old friend, the decided I comes out. If it's a dot, it's a deep. So anyway, XP11. XP11. Combined X level of the dot runner and the star runner. So the star runner is a 2 and the dot runner is also a 2, so that's 4. Greater than 3. It gains 6 to the dot runner. So a 6-yard gain immediately there to the quarterback, Jeffrey Davis, in his 3rd year. So he gets a 6-yard gain. Eating into the lead that Sheffield have got. And Doncaster continue. It's a 1, which is a run, against a 2, which is also a run. So it's run against run, and it's an 8. Run against run 8 is the run level of the star linebacker, which is a 0. It can't be greater. So they gain 3 to the star runner. So a 3-yard gain for number 46, Michael Page, the running back. It takes them up to the 9 zone. 1 zone away from a score event. So it's a 6, so it's an event. We ignore the white and black dice. And it's event 3. Flag defense minor conduct. So it's going to be a 1 yard. So it's going to be a touchdown. They're going to score a touchdown, and it's going to be from a penalty. And the defender who got the penalty is the star linebacker, number 40, Richard Monroe. But gives them a touchdown of 14 points. So Doncaster lead 7-14. And Sheffield will now try and counter that. 4 and 4 is pass against pass. And that's a 2. So pass against pass 2 is the pass level of the star defensive lineman, who is a 3. Greater than the star offensive lineman, who is a 1. So yes, it is. So it's a sack and a fumble, and the quarterback is stunned. So let's have a look at the sack. The sack there is no loss on the sack. But what about the fumble? The fumble chart's here, so you roll the single dice. 2. Offense recovers, no advance. So the offensive recovered, and there's no advance, but because of that, number 12 on the defense, the dot defensive lineman, who is number 77, Charles Brady, is credited with the stop, because that is the end of the Sheffield drive. Doncaster holding them, making sure they didn't make any yardage. So Doncaster will take over, leading 14-7. It's a 5, so it's off the chart, and 4-4 is pass against pass, and it's going to be a pass 9. Doncaster seem to be getting the large numbers. Is the pass level of the quarterback. He's a 2. That's Jeffrey Davis. Greater than the pass level of the star defensive back, and he is a 2, so no, it isn't. So it's complete for 1 to the star wide receiver. So a 1-yard gain to their star wide receiver, who is number 88, Harold Kelly. And Harold Kelly, his 2nd reception of the game. 1. So that doesn't affect anything because the power factors are the same. 3 against 6. So it's pass against X. Pass against X. And it's a PX9. is the pass level of the diamond linebacker, which is 0, greater than the diamond wide receiver. It cannot be. Roll a d6, and it's a 3. So a 3 on a d6. Have I gone with the wrong one here? It's no and no. So we don't roll one. It's a gain of 5. So it's a gain of 5 to the diamond wide receiver, who is the running back number 46, Michael Page. So 5-yard gain puts him in the 6. Doncaster on an impressive drive, 1-3, run against pass. Run against pass. And it's a run pass 8. They're getting all the high numbers, which is good for them. Is the run level of the star linebacker a 0, so it can't be greater. A gain of 3 to the star runner. So a gain of 3 to Michael Page, number 46. And they're up on the zone 9 again. Sheffield are getting a bit of a pasting in this game. 1, so it's 4-4, which is pass, offense, pass, defense. And it's a 9, another good roll for Doncaster. Is the quarterback's pass level, which is a 2, greater than the star defensive back? No, it isn't. It's complete for a gain of 1 to the star wide receiver, and that will be a touchdown. Star wide receiver number 88. And just like that, the score is moved up to 28-7 in favour of Doncaster. Sheffield not doing a very good job at the start of the season, their first game at home, but there's still time. They need to start moving. Event 6 is an event, and the event is number 3, defensive minor, 1 yard. And the defender is number 5, the star linebacker, who is number 41, Anthony Rose. So they'll move them to zone 1 for free. 3, so it's off the chart. 4-5 is pass against X defense, and it's going to be a PX6. Is the quarterback's pass level 2 or 3? Well, no, he isn't. We've got quite a poor quarterback, really, on passing. So it's a single yard gain to the diamond wide receiver. The diamond wide receiver being number 18, Terry Williams, gets his first catch of the game, and they're in zone 2. So 5 against 3, X against P. So it's X offense, pass, defense, and it's an XP4. So is the unit X level of the defensive line, and that is here. So you add them up for the 3 defensive linemen for all these, and that's your unit. So it's a 2. So the unit is a 2. Is it greater than the O-line? No, it isn't. Sheffield's have got 5. So it's a gain of 1 to the diamond runner. So a gain of 1 to the diamond runner, who is the quarterback, Austin Stark. So he took it himself. For his first carry of the game. And we're into zone 3 now. They need to move a bit faster than this. So 4-5 is pass against X. And it's an 8. PX8, wild play, complete for 1 die plus 6 yards. One die plus 1 yard, so that's a 7-yard gain, so it's going to be a touchdown. and the receiver that got that pass is the star receiver, who is number 18, Howard Howell. So Howell gets a 7-yard gain and they score 14 points. So it's now 21-28 as Doncaster take over. This is the state of the game. We've got 3 more in the normal play and then we've got 4 in the crunch time. See if I can just slip that onto there. You can see the edge of it. I'll show you it at the end of the game. So Doncaster then, 28-21 lead. Event, and it's an event 8. Gain of 1. Savage collision, 2 random players stunned, 1 on each side. Credit the gain to the stunned player if applicable. Otherwise choice. So I'm going to need some dots, some little coins here. So I'll roll both the 2d6s and the black one can be the home player. So it's number 5 on the home team, the star runner, who will get the diamond runner, sorry, who will get the 1 yard, and 10 on the defense is the diamond defensive lineman. So the star runner is number 46, Michael Page. So he will get his first run of the game. Actually, it isn't. He's done the other 2 runs as well. I put him in the wrong score sheet, part 631. I'll show you the score sheet at the end because I need to show you how to do the end. And then we've got stunned players. For Doncaster is 46, and for Sheffield it was the diamond defensive lineman, number 79. And what happens there is when they're called on again for the next play, everything drops down 1. So if they're a run 1, then they become a run 0. So Doncaster event again. So in another event 5, power factor, offense greater than defense. Well, we know they're the same. Otherwise stop, made by random defender. So it's going to be a stop, and the random defender is going to be 5, who is the star linebacker. So Sheffield star linebacker is number 40, who gets credited with the stop. And the attacker who was stopped is going to be the diamond wide receiver, who is number 46, Michael Page. So number 46 gets no yards on the pass. And Sheffield have stopped Doncaster. They score 1 point because they got 1 zone. So it's now 21-29 in favour of Doncaster, with 2 levels left before we get into the crunch time. So 3-2 is going to be pass against run, and it is going to be pass run 3 is the pass level of the star linebacker, a 1, greater than the star wide receiver, who's a 2, and the answer is no. So roll 1d6 and it's a 6, so it's complete for 1 gain to the star wide receiver, who's Howell. Continues to rack up the yards. It's still 7 yards short though. 3, so it's a normal play. 2-3. Run against pass. and it's run against pass level 3 is the run level of the diamond defensive lineman, which is a 1, greater than the quarterback, which is a 2, so no. Gain of 1 to the star runner. So another 1 yard gain to number 6, Victor Blake. And so that's another, they're in the second one now. So now we're entering crunch time. And we use these. Now the rule is, in crunch time, if you're in the lead, you can make each roll be 2 slots on the timesheet, as if you were running down the time. But as Sheffield are on the defence or on the attack, then there isn't any change. So 5, 1, 3, and the trail. So it's run against pass. Run against pass, and it's run against pass 12, which will be good for Sheffield. Is the run level of the star runner? Well, it's a 2. So run level 1 or 2 gains 1d6 plus 2. So it's 1d6 plus 5, so it gets 7 yards. And that is going to put them in the lead, I do believe, because that is going to make them 30. So now they will use 2 squares for the next play because they're in the lead. The score here will just about end the game. So it's 6 against 1. So it's X against run. So we've got an XR and X against run 10. XR10 is the X level of the dot runner, which is a 2, greater than the diamond defensive back, which is a 1. So yes, and he gains, it says gains 6, but he only needs 1, so he gains the 1 and scores the touchdown. XR10, who was that player? The dot runner. So number 18, Howells, gets the 1 yard that they needed to get the touchdown. And Sheffield now lead 35-29 with 1 time segment left for Doncaster. Can they make anything out of this? 6-5, they're trailing, so it's Doncaster is X against X, and they need a big number on this, and it's a 4. XX4 is X level of the diamond defensive back, which is 1, greater than the pot wide receiver, which is 0. So yes, it is. It's complete for 1 gain, and then there's a fumble. So the dot wide receiver is number 15, and then he fumbles. So 1. Offense recovered advances. New gain of 1d6 plus X value of a random player. So the d6, this could win the game for them, is a 6. Brilliant. And the X value of the random player, who is 4, who is the star runner. So it's 6 plus the star runner 2, which is 8. So 46 on the offense picks it up and goes 8 yards, which gives them nine yards in all, and that is the end of the game, and I think that is going to win the game for them. So they got 9, 35-38. Let me just check this. 7, 14, then 0, then 14, then 14, then 1, then 14, and they got 9, 7, 14, 28, 35, 38. So yes, right at the end, the last play of crunch time, and Doncaster beat Sheffield on the last play of the game to take their first win in this inaugural season on their first game against Sheffield by 35 to 38. Well, that was really an exciting finish. So now what you do is you work out the yardage for the stats and you add up the number of zones, times it by 10, and then add a d12. So 7, 14, 15, 18 plus 7, so you've got 187 yards passing for the star wide receiver, who is, let's just get the players out again. For Sheffield is Howard Howell. The diamond wide receiver is Terry Williams, and he got 10 plus 11, so he got 21 yards passing. And the dot wide receiver, who is Victor Blake, got 29. So in all, 237 yards passing for the quarterback, Austin Starks. For the runners, the star runner is Victor Blake. He 4 runs for 58 yards. The diamond runner is the quarterback, Austin Starks, who got 21 yards. And the dot runner is Howard Howell, who got 92 yards. So 171 yards rushing. For Doncaster, the star wide receiver is Howard Kelly in his 6th season. He's a 5-year veteran, so 54 yards for him. The diamond wide receiver is the running back Michael Page. We've got 5 plus 50 plus 3, so 53. And the dot wide receiver, who is Sharp, he still rolled for him, so it's 0 plus, so he got 10. So that is 107 yards passing. For the rushers, the star runner is Michael Page. 6 and 9, so he's got 106 yards. The diamond runner is Howard Kelly, and he just got 7 yards. And the spot rusher is the quarterback Jeffrey Davis, and he just got 3 yards, so 116 yards in total. So that's the end of that game. Doncaster winning with a last gasp fumble recovery to get them to the 9 zone and win the game by 35 to 38. I hope you've enjoyed it. A little bit bitty because I'm still quite new to this game myself, but I hope you can see it's a very, very good game. And the thing I really like about it is that you can create your own teams and just keep rolling the teams on season by season, and hopefully the next game will be a bit more flowing, and it'll certainly be a lot less time because I won't be explaining to you what the game's about. So hope you've enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and a thumbs down if you didn't, and let's see how week 2 goes. Until next time, thank you and good night.